What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we're back here in Stockholm. We got 3-star vagabond here again with us. As you know, I'm making that lovely trip next week. A week from now, your boy will be in Copenhagen first, then going to Sweden, just because I got to take the train. But Stockholm for only $87 per day. I was going to get a hotel, but I felt like the purpose would be defeated if I just got a hotel. So I was like, I'm traveling alone. Let me stay in a hostel. Cause maybe I'll meet some people that's familiar with the area. Maybe I'll meet some people that are new to the area or, so I just want this to be a great experience. One of those experiences where, not that I get lost or anything, but experience that I can learn a lot, while I'm there. So, but Sweden budget is definitely needed, man, because that flight ticket was not cheap. It's not cheap. Especially it was cheaper to fly to Copenhagen first. So that's why I did that. But we here. Let's check it out.
So you want to visit the capital of Sweden, but you've heard that it's really expensive. No worries, I'm gonna show you how you can visit Stockholm for only $87 per day.
87 per day, not bad. Still can be a lot though, cause I guess it would depend on how long you're staying, but I know I'm staying a couple of days, so that can add up. That adds up. But I'm just glad I got all the other stuff.
Sweden in general is known to be an expensive destination. It's a beautiful place, but you might have to sell a kidney to afford coming here. It doesn't have to be like that though. I've looked for the cheapest activities, the cheapest places to eat and drink, and the cheapest hotels in the city. Look, this isn't gonna be a luxury budget, but some people don't need a 5-star hotel to enjoy a trip. You can still have a marvelous time, even if you're not spending thousands of bucks. And the timing right now is perfect since the Swedish crown has dropped in value like a lead balloon. Good for you, miserable for us. I'm not gonna suggest completely ridiculous options for this trip. No sleeping in tents or foraging for blueberries, for example.
Somebody sent me, and I did see it. There was a hostel that you can stay on a boat. I was looking into it. I was like, oh, that'd be not, but I don't usually deal with water. So if it was like my third or fourth time coming back to Sweden, I probably would do that. That wouldn't be bad at all. But since it's the first time, I don't know about sleeping on a boat. Maybe I'll pass by it, and see that.
I want to suggest things that offers a complete tourist experience, even if it's on the very cheap side. So let's get started on how you can visit Stockholm for only $87 per day.
$87 per day. Like I said, I got my hostel flight taken care of. Now I could just focus on eating and all the other stuff. Oh yeah, my train ticket too. My train ticket
in Stockholm. Grand Hotel would cost you more than 4,000 Swedish crowns per night, for example.
Oh, I think I did see that
but
one.
Not super expensive hotel would cost you around 2,000 Swedish crowns per night instead. Those hotels include Haymarket and Clarion Sign. And you have normal hotel rooms at around 1,000 to 1,500 crowns. Best Western, Comfort Hotel, Scandic, and places like that. There are lots of cheaper options as well, but most of them are pretty far away. There are some exceptions though. If you want a private room with an ensuite bathroom, that's not too far away. The best compromise I found was Connect Hotel Kista. That one is close to a subway station and a mall, and it costs roughly 800 Swedish crowns per night. It's also close to a pretty rough area, next to one of the so-called no-go zones in Stockholm. But I'd say it's perfectly fine to stay there. Just try not to pick a fight with the local gangs late at night. You probably want to avoid that. But this video isn't about 3-star options. This video is about finding the cheapest options. For the cheapest option, you want to find a dormitory bed at a hostel. The cheapest hostel is City Lodge Hostel for 270 Swedish crowns per night.
That's not
so
bad.
that's what I'll be using in this video. But so you know, if you spend just a little bit more, you can find a hostel at a boat instead.
Oh yeah, there it
Gustaf of Klint has beds for 280 Swedish crowns per night, and Off Chapman has beds for 339 crowns. If I were you, I'd probably pay a little bit extra just for the novelty of staying on a boat.
Right. That's why I said I could do it. I could do it, but give me my second go around. I'll say my second go around to Sweden. I'll do that. That would be cool. Be cool to experience and document that. I mean, I don't often stay on a boat. I don't even have a boat.
To get around in Stockholm is by walking, so that's my primary recommendation.
For sure. Hey, and I got I bought some new running shoes, Brooks, and they work fantastic, man. I've been running and walking a lot every day just because I know I gotta be doing all that even when I get here. So
that's my primary recommendation.
Got the walking shoes, perfect.
And seeing a lot of the city, or if you want to see the subway arch, then you could also buy an SL ticket. SL is the public transport company in Stockholm, and a single ticket costs 39 Swedish crowns.
Okay.
But you can also buy 24 hours, 72 hours, 7 days, or 30 days tickets. The 24-hour ticket costs 165 Swedish crowns, so you need to ride at least 5 times per day to make it worthwhile. The 72-hour ticket costs 330 Swedish crowns, so you only need to ride it 3 times per day to make it worth the cost. I'm gonna assume that you're on a long weekend, so if you buy the 72-hour ticket, it's gonna cost you 110 Swedish crowns per day.
I'm staying 1, 2... I think I'm gonna be in Sweden for like 4 or 5 days out of the time I'm supposed to be there. It's a little cheaper than Copenhagen. I haven't found.
However, a day pass on an electric scooter is less than 100 Swedish crowns. I know that many people hate these electric scooters, but as long as you obey traffic rules and, well, don't drive like then it's an amazing option. You have tons of different brands to choose from in Stockholm. Tier, Lime, Voi, Bolt. Apparently something called Dot as well. I never tried that one. Most of them have day passes for 99 Swedish crowns, but Tier actually has a day pass for 79 Swedish crowns. You only get 5 unlocks and 50 minutes, but I think that should suffice for most people.
That's not bad. $8 for an hour worth of rides, depending on where you're going, you know.
So if you know where Stockholm you're going and you've got someplace to stay, what are you gonna do now? I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but I already made a video about the top 10 free things to do in Stockholm. If you just have a few days in the city, you could easily spend all your time on activities that don't cost anything at all. For example, you could explore Old Town and visit the smallest public monument in Sweden, or discover old runestones, or visit Morten Trotsingsgränd, the narrowest alley. Or you could take walks on the islands of Långholmen or Djurgården and enjoy the lovely scenery. Or you could visit the completely free museums in Stockholm, such as the Medieval Museum. All of that would cost you nothing at all. But I've also made a video about things you can do for less than...
I'm gonna have to go to his free video. I might have done it before. I don't think so, but...
Nothing at all.
My first day, I want to consist of just walking around, exploring and stuff. Then after that, the next day, I might consider doing a little bit more. Where I have to spend a little bit of money, but
I've also made a video about things you can do for less than 300 Swedish crowns. Things on that list include visiting the ice bar, renting a kayak, or taking a trip to the archipelago. If you want to go to Vaxholm in the archipelago, a boat there and back again costs less than 200 Swedish crowns. And if you want to visit the open-air museum Skansen, a ticket will cost you 245 Swedish crowns. Let's say that you mix a couple of free activities per day with one activity that you have to pay for. Then you end up at roughly 250 Swedish crowns per day for activities.
$20 a day, I can do that on activities. You know, maybe $30 or $40. Cause I like to eat, but I don't eat that much, honestly. Like even when I'm here, I stay so busy to where I probably eat like twice a day. I might snack a lot. I snack a lot. That might be a thing that gets me. I might have to already have some like snacks or something like that put in place. But I mean, it's not bad because he's already throwing in the hostel prices.
Unfortunately, can't survive on fun activities alone. You also need food, so you don't starve to death during your Stockholm visit. The absolutely cheapest option would be to bring a portable stove and buy 5 packs of instant ramen for 25 Swedish crowns from ICA Maxi Lindhagen. You could cook your food in a park and enjoy the view in, for example, this place, Rålambshovsparken, while you eat your cheap ramen every day. But that's not really a proper tourist experience, is it? I'm gonna assume that you haven't brought your portable stove and that you don't want to have to cook your own meals every day. So in that case, what are some options for breakfast?
Nah, that's funny.
If you had been staying at a decent hotel, breakfast would most likely have been included, but you have no such luck now. You could still go to a hotel for breakfast, but that typically costs hundreds of Swedish crowns. There's also tons of breakfast and brunch spots in Stockholm. The Greasy Spoon, Café Pascal, Stockholm Brunch Club, and many more. The food is often excellent, but we're talking Stockholm prices, so these options could also cost several hundred Swedish crowns. The cheapest breakfast option is to visit one of the bigger supermarkets, such as Coop at Hötorget.
See, and I either cook breakfast or don't eat breakfast. I'm the type of person I like a cold breakfast. Sometimes I like a hot breakfast.
Or Coop at the central station and buy breakfast there. Hemköp below Åhléns City is also an option. They often have ready-made sandwiches and juices, and they're cheaper than Pressbyrån or cafes. You could even make your own sandwich. Buy a bread roll and some ham and assemble it yourself. Let's say that you buy a fruit, a sandwich and something to drink. That should land you at roughly 60 Swedish crowns, give or take a bit.
$5? That would be crazy. That's a crazy save right there. Oh, that's a crazy save right
Eventually, you'll want some lunch as well. Since you had a cold breakfast, you probably want a proper cooked lunch. If you're visiting Stockholm on a weekday, you should keep your eye out for lunch offers. In Sweden, you basically have 2 different types of people, those who bring their lunch to work and those who eat out. It's mandatory at Swedish workplaces to say, "Oh, you're so good who bring your own lunch," if you see a co-worker with a lunchbox. You don't have to mean it, it doesn't have to be sincere, but it has to sound sincere. You mustn't upset the Swedish workplace equilibrium. Anyway, you won't have a lunchbox, so what you're looking for is a cheap lunch spot. A lunch in Stockholm can easily cost 150 Swedish crowns or more. That may sound like highway robbery, but the thing is, it's even more expensive if you go there for dinner. Avoid those 150 Swedish crowns places though. You can easily find cheaper options. You could go to a supermarket and pick your own salad, or even pick stuff from a hot food buffet at some places. You'll end up at around 50 to 100 Swedish crowns for a...
Okay, I need to know where this at, because this actually looks good. A supermarket buffet? That's crazy.
Lunch like that. I have it for lunch myself most days. But I understand if you want to have a place to sit down for a lunch. If you go to Hötorgshallen at the Haymarket Square and head downstairs, you'll find a stand with Turkish burgers. A burger and a Coke here will cost you 85 Swedish crowns, and it's a better burger than you'll find at McDonald's or Burger King or Max.
Oh, I definitely got to go to Max, because that's one of the places I always heard about a lot in the beginning, especially in comparison to McDonald's and stuff. So I got to go to Max. That might be the first place I go eat some lunch at. I ain't gonna lie. I might go to Max first. Oh, that's pretty cool. Might go to Max.
Travel tips, like in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, join the 3-Star Vagabond Facebook group if you want to hang out with a bunch of nice weirdos. Well, at least the others are nice. I'm just weird. You had a proper lunch, but that's not gonna last you all day. So where are you gonna go for dinner? Well, there's a quintessentially Swedish place that just opened right in the center of Stockholm city. I'm of course talking about IKEA. And where you find IKEA, you don't just find cheap furniture. You also find Swedish meatballs. If you don't eat very much, you can get 8 meatballs with mashed potatoes for 49 Swedish crowns. But most people will want 12 meatballs instead for 65 Swedish crowns and 15 Swedish crowns for the drink as well. So 80 crowns in total. Now that's a proper Swedish meal for a very non-Swedish price.
And I still haven't had IKEA meatball, the Swedish meatballs at IKEA, and I haven't been close to one. I probably have, but it haven't crossed my mind. I've probably been busy with basketball. So, but nah, this was nice. This is nice. I like this one.
The night isn't over yet, though. What if you want to have a couple of beers? Sweden is infamous for having extremely expensive alcohol. It often costs more than 100 Swedish crowns for a single pint. But there are ways around that. First of all, don't be picky. Order a stor stark, a big strong one. That means that you'll get the cheapest lager that they have on tap. Also, avoid pubs close to the central station or any of the very touristy areas, such as these pubs, for example. Except Laughing Duck, which actually is cheap. Instead, you want to head to the hipster areas at Södermalm.
And see, I'm gonna be going to be by Central Station, so that's gonna be cool. Especially when I get there from Denmark.
I'll look around for seedy-looking bars. Around this area, you can find beer as cheap as 39 Swedish crowns. This is a beer at Söderkällaren for 39 Swedish crowns, for example. This is the after-work price, and the normal price is 49 Swedish crowns. So let's say that you can easily find a beer for 50 Swedish crowns at least. So let's say that you drink a modest amount, for example 3 beers. That's 150 Swedish crowns. Then you'll still be sober enough to find your way back to your hostel, and you'll also have strength for tomorrow's sightseeing. Cheers to that.
Dang, that's crazy, saving a whole $5 on beer. Okay, now that a nightlife, you want to turn up a little bit. You got some place to turn up.
That's the way to visit Stockholm for only $87 per day and still have an enjoyable tourist experience. You might want to budget for a little bit more though. This is an extremely frugal example budget. Either way, I hope you found this interesting and maybe even a little bit useful. Like and subscribe, but most importantly, have a great day. And don't forget to check out more of my videos for tips about Stockholm, such as this one, for example.
Almost Straden. I remember that too. Being able to roam around. Nah, this was nice. This was nice. Like I said, I wanted to get that real experience and stay in a hostel. That's why I ended up staying in a hostel. That's why I said very practical and useful videos. Very useful. Yeah, this helped me. So, like I said, I'm getting ready, preparing myself. So I think this is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Now, somebody mentioned a Stockholm card as well, because I did a video over the Copenhagen card, which I wouldn't mind. But I know for me, I enjoyed this. And if it came to, because I'm going to be staying in Sweden longer than Copenhagen. So that's why I know for staying in Stockholm, I'm going to have a lot to do. Going to need stuff to do. But, you know, if I don't get to do everything, which I won't get to do everything, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to go to a different city that's nearby by boat or something like that. That would be cool. But other than that, this was pretty cool. Somebody did a video, 48 hours in Stockholm. So I'm trying to check out those videos, kind of see what I'm looking at, you know, in that time span. But other than that, y'all let me know what y'all think. Maybe there's some other things. I know I got different. Let me know a good app to use for different experiences in Sweden. I know they got the Airbnb app. I have this other app that I use for Copenhagen. So, but that's all I have. Hit that subscribe button, and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.